Hey crafters, today's Christmas project is pretty much a grab out your glue gun, glue it all together, and call it a day kind of a project, so we're gonna jump right into this. The first thing you will need are these little present boxes. There's different sizes of these. I got these at Hobby Lobby. They're from the My Little Christmas collection. Of course, everything's 50% off, and there's about 50 or so in a package. You can go with really small ones like this, or with some bigger ones like I'm using. They're basically just these 1-inch cubes. I also have this giant jingle bell that I bought at the end of the season a couple years back. So right now they're 50% off of the $6.99, but when I bought it, I got it after Christmas for 90% off, which was pretty awesome. So what we're going to be making is a joy hanging sign. So to hang it, you will also want to save a tube, either like a paper towel tube, or this one, what I saved is from like a roll of parchment paper, wax paper, aluminum foil, because it's a little longer, a little thinner, and a little sturdier. So that's what I'm going to be using. I have a few other items that I'll grab as we go to kind of add just some decoration, but this is the basic items. You'll also possibly want a pair of scissors and your glue gun heated up. So the first step we need to do is we need to make our letters. So I'm making mine say joy. We're using the jingle bell for the O, so we don't need to do anything with that. I'll set that off to the side. But you do need to figure out how you want to arrange your letters for the J and the Y. I've sized mine to be about the same height as the jingle bell, and I just kind of picked a pattern and went with it, like the coloration. So I've got them laid out, but the first thing we want to do is we want to cut off the little hanging part. And I'm gonna hang on to these because I will use these in some other craft for something. So I'm gonna go through and cut those off so I end up with just the present box with the bow tied on. And you also wanna make sure that the bow is on tied securely, because sometimes the bows get a little loose. So let's start gluing the letter J together. I'm gonna turn these so that way I have the bows on the top facing outward. And I'm just gonna put a good bit of glue on the side. Take my next box and stick it together like that. Now hold it to make sure that glue has a chance to really securely dry. You can also flip this over the other way, so that way your glue tails come out the back instead of the front. If they're not together, like right here, they're kind of separating apart. I'm gonna put a little bit more glue in there. Hold it together just so that way I get a really secure bond. Do my next one on as well. And you do want to be patient and give the glue enough time to dry and cool down so that you get a really secure and crisp end result. Let's then do these next three in a line, and then we'll attach it to there. Next, we're gonna glue these two sections together right here. You might wanna make sure that your little tails from your ribbon bows are out of the way, and I'm just kind of doing a stripe of glue on both sides of the present, taking the one I'm attaching and just pressing it firmly into there. Let me set it upside down, I can just press it down into the table. So the next thing we need to do is we need to add the bottom two and kind of the little hook at the side. These two are gonna get glued together squarely side by side, and then we'll kind of offset it from that red one and the green one. So let me glue these two together. So now when we attach this one, we don't want to attach it directly underneath it, or else we'll just end up with this weird block at the bottom. We want to kind of shift it over just a little bit, but we do want to make sure we have enough glue to really securely hold it. So I'm going to load this up kind of heavy with the glue, and then hold it so that way it sticks out over the side just a little bit. But again, I'm going to keep pressure on there while the glue cools to make sure we get a really secure bond. Same with attaching this one. We're going to load up just the right side with glue and press it on to our two bottom pieces right there. Now another tip is if you find that they're not staying together well with the glue, or you just want a little bit extra stability, let me show you the composition of these, because we are going to unwrap some of these. If you undo the ribbon, It's basically just a little piece of foil over a cube of styrofoam. So if you want to strengthen this, you can take toothpicks and just run them through the cubes, and that will help strengthen their bond together. So this is our letter J, and we'll repeat the process with our Y. As a random aside, something I'll mention is you can also make these stand up. If they're a little wobbly, you can glue an extra one onto the back to give it some support. So if you don't want to do it hanging like I'm going to make mine, you can also make these letters and just make them stand up. But let's go ahead and assemble the Y, and I will also kind of show you how you can use the toothpicks. So for the Y, I'm going to have 3 of them lined up, and then we'll have these 2 and those 2 kind of offset to split off. But like I was saying, if you want to use the toothpick, you can just run it right into, peg kind of pops, makes a little popping noise, out the other side here. And then I'll just pop it into this one and the one above, and I'll still have some glue for extra to hold it together, but you can also pop a toothpick through there for a little extra hold if you want. Just make sure that the toothpick doesn't pop out the other side. And you can also punch the holes with the toothpick before you actually glue them together if you want to get the holes already made. To finish up the Y to the top, I'm going to, again, kind of like we did over here, I'm going to put it just on the one side. Just put some glue on the one side, load it up well, and press it in place. All right, so now we've got our letters ready. Next thing we need to do is work on getting our hanging part ready. You can decorate this really however you want. What I'm going to do to keep it in the same theme as my letters is I'm just unpackaging some of these, and I'm going to hot glue the wrappers around the pole. So I'm gonna get a couple of these unwrapped and hang on to all the pieces that you take off of these, because we'll use these to attach our letters. So I'm just gonna use my glue gun again here. Put a little bit of glue along the edge and start wrapping it in place. I am leaving this first one a little bit sticking over the edge so I can fold it under in a bit here. But these work out super awesome where they're just the right width to wrap around my tube. Hopefully if you get one out of like, a parchment paper or tin foil roll, it'll be the right size, but if not, you can always just do a couple overlapping. I'll hot glue down the other side as well. On the end here, I'm just gonna put a little bit of hot glue on the inside and fold this under. Just of course remember that the hot glue is hot, so don't burn yourself or anything. Got my first one on here, let's go to the next one. And again, I'm leaving the excess sticking off this end so we can tuck it in. All right, so now our pieces are just about ready. We've just got to get them together. What I'm going to do is from the ones that we unwrapped, we have this big piece of ribbon. I'm going to run this onto my jingle bell here and tie it at the top. And slide it on over here. And Roomba decides to come crash my filming. And I'm gonna do the same with my letters. And I'm gonna do 2 on the letters just because they're kind of, they have 2 parts. Just gonna run it under. Piece there. Another piece under the leftmost present. And doing 2 is also good on these presents because as you can see, they're turned like this way whereas they need to go this way to go on there. So so if you just had one and had it this way, they'd want to turn, but this will keep them from turning. And of course, I'm going to want to tie them so that way they hang down about the same amount as my jingle bell. First, make sure they're even. I'll cinch up these knots. Slide the J on, compare them. That looks pretty good so far. Repeat the process with the Y. And now I have all my pieces hanging from the arm here. So the last thing I need to do is I need to run something through here or tie it in a loop so that we can hang from, a nail in the wall. and I'm kind of still trying to figure out what way I want to do that. I have this thing of garland that I got a few years back when it was on sale, 90% off after Christmas. I think I might run this to the center. I'm going to open this up and see how this looks. And then of course you can do whatever else you want with this. I have these little bitty ornaments, some jingle bells, these blue ornaments. There's all kinds of things you can do with it. You can leave it as is. You can add a whole bunch of other decorations, just however you want yours to look. I think I'm going to use this to hang this up. So I'm using this to hang mine up. You of course can use these leftover tie pieces. You can use some yarn, some other string, whatever you want to use to hang yours up. But I'm gonna tie this together, hang it up, and I will show you how it looks. All right, so there we have it, folks. That is our joy sign made out of a jingle bell and our present boxes. Like I said, there's so many ways that you can spruce this up more, simplify it down. I think they also make the present boxes in other colors. Like I think there's like a blue box with like blue and golds and brighter colors, whereas this is more, you know, traditional silver and gold, red and green Christmas colors. But really there's lots of ways you can go with this. Another thing you could do is if you didn't want the bows on all the present boxes, you could take those off. You could also try painting your jingle bell. Lots of super easy yet fun ways to make this look exactly how you want it to. But that is our project for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and come back for more awesome crafting content. Happy crafting. All right, this has nothing to do with anything, but I made myself a pair of socks. They're Tunisian crochet, in case you're wondering.